Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and I'm back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, 3, Trials and Tribulations, Gekton Saibon, Turnabout Bridge, whatever you want to call it, Bridge to Turnabout. Anyway, so to recap, Edgeworth has started the case against, for, Iris, forgot her name for a sec. And now, we are on the second part of the first trial, in which we have to bring in Larry as a witness in order to find out exactly what he saw that night of the murder, in which his boss was killed. Anyway, welcome to the stream, Violet, how you doing? Alright, so, February 9th, 11:15 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
Alright, I'll help you in any way I can.
What's Phoenix's favorite color?
What?
First, about that night. You really didn't go into the inner temple, correct? Call me Dick Kickham, Mr. Edgeworth. Call me Dick Kickham, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, that's perfect, Firewall. Welcome to the stream. Oh, yeah, the supposed final Kage no Senso, of course, yes. As opposed to all the other ones, which were the final one. Alright. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Police brutality again, detective? Man, if there was like a modern Ace Attorney game set in America, you'd have to have like a level defending Gumshoe from a police brutality conviction, and it turns out he did it. Oh, Mr. Wright, he was making eyes at me. I've been doing just fine, Firewall. How you been doing? So it follows on from two different versions with new characters and old characters. Okay. One of those. I feel like it might be still a little loud. Hold on. So, Violet and Quan Chi. Oh, then Ikuru and Alpha, yeah. That's classic stuff. Alright.
Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. His name was Black, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh god. We had to use extreme force for the sake of the gag. Oh my god. Mr. Wright, we have video evidence from Gumshoe's body cam showing that he did it. What? Oh my god. Then it turns out someone stole his body cam, then that becomes a whole other part of the trial. The trial's suspended for a day, da 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 da. Anyway. Were you the one who used the snowmobile?
There was only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's one of those psycho locks. Oh fuck, there are 5 of them. Iris,
I can't tell you about that yet.
Oh, you saw Venom 3. Huh, how's that? Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed. Had to bring Maya a hamburger. It was weird too, it looked like a rice ball. The safety of the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, I didn't realize you were a Star Wars fan. She must be talking about Maya. What the fuck is happening? It was good. Oh, okay, but that's good. I saw the trailer with all the like the symbiote animals. That's actually I like that. I like that as a concept. That's pretty cool. Iris, look at me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Dunim?
No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. Again.
Again? You hope they don't think they're gonna make a spin-off? Oh, what kind of spin-off? For, like, Carnage or something? Or, like, Venom in the Marvel universe? As I thought. No psycho-locks. But then again, Matt Ungar didn't have any when he was like, oh, I didn't kill that guy! Back in Ace Attorney 2, so, like... You know, I'm so done with this multiverse shit, same Venom. Oh boy. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Oh, one of the symbiotes. Ah, I gotcha. February 9th, 11:36 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 7. Man, Francesca's faraway sprite looks kinda weird. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intently. Was he a courtroom artist? Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? They're making a Lego series of Spider-Verse movies minifigures at some point. Oh, cool, actually. That's really cool. Huh. Didn't know that. Wonder what sets they would do. Also, they have a lot of character options there. He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and vicious whip. Yeah, I wonder who. Oh yeah, 29.9 in Lego, that would be awesome. About time, right? Or I guess for another one at least. There has to be at least one out there, right? And I'd like to hope. Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. And it just cuts to the artist stand and it's like me. Lois Dunim, I hope you're ready. Get in here! Get over here! Oh yeah, collecting Lego figures. I need to get back to that. I used to do that when I was younger, and it's like... I feel like I would still enjoy, collecting Lego figures, but yeah, fuck, it's Larry! I could have seen plenty more violence with the whip. Or whatever Edgeworth was about to say. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. You made the eyes too far apart. It's just artistic liberty. You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fletching artist trading out in the mountains. I have Thanos, Outrider, Skull, Electro, Chitari, Mysterio, Green Goblin, Venom, Venomized Green Goblin, Gulcher for Villain. Oh, yeah. I think you mentioned that in the a Dragon Quest stream a few streams ago. Yeah, that's a nice collection you got there. Something about green paint. Fuck, I keep skipping the lines. Alright, focus. Solid focus. Well, to use the technical term for the color, Viridian. You see, I'm on the road to Viridian City. Larry... This isn't an art store, now is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Also, I've been in the courtroom a lot recently, actually, yeah. Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. The board is supposed to be a third of the face, not 3 fucking fifths, Larry. Just imagine Edward's main problems with Larry just go back to him not doing art properly. Larry, you're supposed to take the space of one eye in between both of the eyes to make them spaced apart properly. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence.
I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I got nothing to do with this trial, at all. Oh, you have Groot, Star-Lord, Miles, MCU, Spider-Man, Gwen, Captain America, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Hawkeye, and Wolverine. Again, lovely collection. Got them all like lined up or something like that. I think I would put them in like a display case or something. Get like a whole diorama going. Expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red! Or to use the proper term, chartreuse. Oh wow, actually he was gonna... Oh. Or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man.
Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. But not cross-examining. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify, now!
Oh, you got Iron Spider and Stealth Spider. I like those designs. Yeah. Spider-Man really does have like the best, like alternate outfits, really. It's just, it's always so stylish, you know? This is too much for me. Alright. Genji from Overwatch is there, but he is... Huh? I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy?
Eyes are in the middle of the face, Larry, not so low to the jaw.
I just like to imagine Larry, like, drew that one image that I drew where it's like the mouth or where the eyes are, and the eyes in the mouth, and then like the legs are a tail and they form a hand. You know that one weird drawing I did that one time? But edgy, that's how they do it in anime.
I don't care, Larry. Besides, what is anime? We live in Japanifornia, where people watch, I don't think of a Japan station, like a TV station. Nika Tokyo Ian. Fuck, that wasn't even a good joke. I'm just gonna move on, alright. Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony.
I'm just a nobody! Nobody but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else?
Because you are clearly unemployed. Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he's been to other people.
Yeah, that's right. I'll find everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy.
Bro hasn't felt a woman's touch in ages, and whenever they do, they die. What the hell, man? Larry just... he's got such an unfortunate life, you know? Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Larry, the human body is roughly 7 heads tall. Yours is 5.
I was drawing a dwarf.
Why were you... Never mind.
I was doing fan art for that new game, Dragon Age Veilguard, that everyone seems to like. I bet it's gonna be pretty good.
The joke is that apparently no one liked Dragon Age Veilguard. I have not played it myself, for what it's worth, but... Alright, so autopsy report. Where is the weather report? No... Ah, here we are. 7 to approximately 10:50 p.m. I get the feeling he wasn't actually looking up at stars. Let's just press him on this really quick. Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? This one single statement is so full of contradictions, for a moment there I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any ideas as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my VIP. Reggie, I wanted it to look like... Respect the human proportions, Larry. Oh, okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. Larry, just do a new testimony. I don't give a shit, man. That rundown shack is hardly a lodge, isn't it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right? You know what? Maybe Larry would be a decent lawyer. He can clearly tell the contradictions. Larry, the arms in a neutral stand hang out around the middle of the thigh. Your hand goes all the way to the knee. And why is the hand completely flat, Larry? The hand is supposed to curve a little bit in the middle. That way the fingers all curve inward for a fist. It's not a sheet of paper, Larry. I really need to draw this sprite and use it in the thumbnail. It's just so good. Look at it. Oh, I love it. See? You can do it if you try. There is only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge. Didn't see a snowmobile. Alright. Cool. So... Let's see. Anyone at the bridge that night either? Larry, the neck is slightly tilted forwards, not straight up. Larry, when an eye is viewed from the side, the pupil goes further to the other side of the eye because it's set further in the eye as opposed to being on top of the center of it. I may have phrased that poorly. We'll discuss that later. Okay, really though. What am I gonna show him that would prove him wrong? There are many things. There are many things that prove him wrong. But, Larry, you really didn't see it? Hey, no need to hit your desk, I can hear you! I didn't see it! I didn't see a snowmobile! Larry, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile? If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest? Shut up! What is this? I don't know! Don't ask me! Seems that I need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans. Just to make sure I don't fuck up here, why not? No, no, no. Larry, adult men have necks as thick as their jaw. Oh wait, no, I pressed the wrong button. Alright. Welcome to art class with Edgeworth. A number of times, how many? Maybe, 5 times? I wouldn't once every 20 minutes. Which means... you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. You bet! Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Obvious, eh? It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack. Using this blackmail letter. Blackmail? No, no, that was simply a product of overflowing love. You huffy, puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining fuss of a witness. Witness, I fucked up at the last second. Alright. Guys, did you ever use any proportion tips when drawing figures? I probably ought to, because if you'll notice sometimes on my more recent art, like the doctor one I just drew for last week's schedule, the hands and arms are probably a little smaller than they should be. I didn't quite do the proportions properly, I think. But yeah, usually I probably should do that. So, what did you see? Oh, for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy, puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering wuss of a witness, eh? Right, he's Canadian! I forgot we were doing that! Shit. Alright. Eh? You huffy puppy excuse for witness, eh? Being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna hit him with the weather report. Fuck! Fortunately. Right, I can't. What do you mean you can't accept it? It is literally true, though. Maybe this is one of those where I just need to press him on everything. Alright. You didn't meet anyone. That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. And I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Oh, come on! I expect to see those Crimson Lake faces! Now! I find myself only really using them when I draw a figure with head on. That would probably help more, yeah. It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh wow, you're literally telling me that then. Alright, fine. Seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep this things moving along. I think all those tips you gave are right, though. Yeah, that's what I've heard for the most part. Number of times, but... Wait, just to be clear. Okay, so that's Heavenly Hall. Alright. Then, maybe this? Fuck! Alright, let's keep this moving. How am I fucking up this much? Larry, why are you like this? Okay, wait. At 10 at Heavenly Hall. She said she never showed up. Lights out at the bell at 10 p.m. and was there in her room until the murder was discovered. Okay. What the heck? Wait. Looking up at the stars that night. I mean, they already said the whole thing about the blackmail tip before. Well, the weather report, wasn't it? Lights out bell at 10 p.m. was then in her room until the murder was discovered. Shit. What am I missing here? Didn't see a snowmobile, which, again, I find hard to believe. If you went there 20 times and, like... Didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. But we know someone went to the bridge, and therefore... What the fuck is happening? Maybe I need to show one of these? Huh? Okay, probably not. Man, Larry really is a way of melting my brain, doesn't he? I feel like I lose everything when I try to talk to him. That lodge up in the mountains, we already cleared up the problems with this one. I think. Which means we don't need to press that. I'm gonna have to do more than press him to get through this, but I also don't know what I need to press him on. Damn it! You walk to the bridge a number of times. Let's press him on this again, see if it shows anything else. Yep, number of times, how many? 5 times. Every 20 minutes. You bet. Yeah, we use the blackmail letter. That's how we managed to gaslight Edgeworth and Wright to be friends. Yeah, no, that's true. He hits you in the brain enough until he brings you down to your level. Right now I'm at Larry level. Actually, wait a minute. Okay, you know what, before I lose too much else to this guy, this idiot, I'm gonna... I realize, I guess losing in a battle of wits to Larry is what makes me an idiot, but, fuck. Oh my god. I don't understand what I'm missing here. It's already full of holes! We know it's full of holes! Yep, alright. Really sad what happened to Larry. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel bad for the guy, but holy shit. Like... Oh my god. He became a shadow of his former self. He was never really... like, I agree that he's a shadow, but I also don't think he was much of a guy to begin with, for the most part. Based on Ace Attorney 1, he just kind of... Well, granted, I do think they've made him stupider across the other games, but still... Didn't see a snowmobile, didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. Wait, but we know that Nick was... Oh my god, hold on. Just because I don't want to go forward with only 2 health points, I'm just gonna... I realize I'm cheating a little bit here, but fuck it. I don't want to let Larry steal all my life again. There we go, I'm an idiot, I'm dumb. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy, are you trying to console me? Certainly doesn't sound that way to... Oh, it certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change, eh? What do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night. Testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. Edgy, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. Just do it, Larry. Come on, man. I'll ask again, witness. What did you see in the night of the murder, eh? After you finish the game, you want to continue Apollo Justice in the investigation games. Okay, so here's my plan, right? So basically, I'm going to, I'll do... Alright, so right after this, let's say I finish Ace Attorney 3, right? Finish Ace Attorney 3, I'm gonna go do Ghost Trick, because I want to try that out, and I feel like it's like a good little buffer between this and then Apollo Justice. Then, I'm gonna do probably Apollo Justice, then Investigations, then Dual Destinies, then Investigations 2, then... Or maybe I'll just put Investigations after the next trilogy. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm gonna do them. Ideally, I will do all the Ace Attorney games. So we'll go from there. But yeah, I do plan on doing more. What I Saw Part 2. Oh god. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying into my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. Were it not for the cans and magazine that's like right next to him, he looks like he's living in like a very old like historical house in Japan. Not even a very good one. Looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire! There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. Investigation game seems like a better buffer for in between this game and Apollo Justice. That is true, but I currently don't have them and they're not on sale, so... You know what, actually, maybe those games are worth buying at full price. I'd feel okay with that sort of purchase. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It burned out. Oh wow, that was the joke. It totally burnt out. Like, almost totally gone. Especially how the investigation games play so radically different from the main games. You can actually move around in those. Yeah, I have seen clips of that, of the, like the Edgeworth at the dog show meme. Where someone edited the sprite of him running around to the, like, where a dog is in a dog show. And it was just him going over with all these obstacles, and it was actually pretty great. You get 3/4 views of all the characters. That's true, yeah, that does look pretty cool. And there's also, like, the mental chess aspect that I saw in that one trailer. Seems like there's a lot of cool stuff in it. I might as well do that afterwards, you're right. That's a good call. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains is what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry, it's nothing life-threatening. You just caught a cold. I never know what's that man if... if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Only Nick could survive a fall into a raging river and come out with a cold only. What a guy. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination, eh? Oh yeah, plus Investigations has like one of the best music themes in the entire franchise. You know, when it's like Edgeworth's themes like Pursuit Lying Coldly or something, where it's like dun 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 da 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 da. You know, I like that one a lot. Of course, how can we ignore Gumshoe's best line from those games? Logic, Mr. Edgeworth? How do you use it? That reminds me of that thing from, there was a screen cap from Resident Evil 1 that made the rounds as like a meme. Where, there is a thing where if you go in the original game to like the sheet of, like sheet music for Chris, it'll be like, unfortunately, Chris can't read sheet music. But people would always cut it off right before it says the sheet music part, so it says like, unfortunately, Chris can't read. Oh, I love it. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, I went to 9:30, 10:30 p.m. lying in your bedding when a white flash almost blinded you. Whiskey Bridge was on fire. Thunder went right away to check it out. That's when he ran into Nick. Okay. All this seems relatively accurate. What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Excited? Dare I even ask? I said the meeting time is 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait. I thought you might come early, too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end.
Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Oh, shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart!
That's a fond memory for you?
Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her.
Light flash almost blinded him. This light was, of course...
Lightning! Like, ka-chow! Ka-chow!
I know it says kerpow, but...
Ka-chow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. Yeah, big bada boom!
Or a little like that.
It's more like a punch from Miranda.
Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge?
Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so,
Yeah, I looked out the window, Dusky Bridge was on fire. I don't want to throw out your future schedule for the next game you'll play it. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's good. Seeing that, what did you do?
What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart.
I like to imagine there was like a universal sigh from everyone when he said that, where they're like, And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge?
Naomi used to flash me too.
Oh god.
She also flashed that other guy she was seeing. Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, oh, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it pretty much stopped snowing, so, I don't know, I changed my mind.
I'm not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness. What's wrong with Thunder? You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that?
Well, the lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, I gotta go check this out.
How far is this small shack you've in from the bridge?
Hold on, well, it pretty much stopped snowing. I think it's about a 5-minute walk.
And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there?
Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare.
Well, should I press him for a little more info? Yeah, why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing.
What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face?
Why didn't you call anyone?
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct?
Well, of course I thought of doing that.
So then, let's hear why you didn't.
Well, yeah, okay. A reason, my reason... Oh, it isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have the time, okay?
Okay, wait, let's... speed through this, get to the other option. So you suddenly thought to check out the bridge? Does this mean you initially had no intention of doing so?
Well, yeah, I guess it does. It was really cold, so I didn't want to go out either.
If that's the case, why did you change your mind? I would like to hear your reasoning. In which case, please give testimony to that effect, witness. Please give testimony to that effect, witness.
my reasoning. Oh, okay. Reasoning, is it?
Okay, that's interesting. So you decided to go and see what was happening.
Well, that's right. We're talking about a massive suspension bridge burning to high heaven. That's not something you see every day. A real like real special?
You are my special. Can we really trust a witness who is unable to put out spectacle? It'd be really funny if I flubbed the word there too, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm one of them. Life seems to love hitting this poor witness below the belt.
Well, my motto is to hit life back as hard as I can.
I'll give you a few hits too if you'd like. This is my VIP. You told me about the burning bridge yesterday. There's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. Okay, this is clearly the thing that he's looking for. About 10:45. So it would have been about 10:30 p.m., but that's wrong. Because... Please don't tell me Larry set the bridge on fire. Fuck! Alright, I'll play it as it lies. Let's keep going. Maybe something on this. What would he yet see burning? Or at least Unum was murdered. The bell at 10 p.m. was in a room till the murder was discovered. Fuck! Bro, I am losing any and all ideas for this. Alright. Let's see. What would make the most... No, never mind. I should think like an idiot. What would make the least amount of sense? White flash. But yeah, it's not... Lightning struck it at 10:45. 30 minutes between the fire starting and going out. So in other words, it wasn't done snowing by that point. It would have been past that. Went right away to check it out. Maybe this? I don't know. Fuck! I'm pretty sure the last save I had was before... Alright, fuck it. Larry, you remain my eternal enemy. Larry, what a man you are. Gotta fast forward through all this again. I'm still probing Larry. I need to use better gloves or something. The different texture, ribbed for his pleasure or something, because holy shit, man. He's not giving me the answers here. Maybe it's on me for not seeing it. It probably is, but, like... Okay. Alright. We never pressed him on this, did we? How did Phoenix Wright look when you met him? He looked like a beaten-up mule. He was dead tired. I mean, he'd run all the way from Hazakura Temple. He simply stood staring at me, breathing hard for a moment. How far is it to Hazakura Temple from the bridge? Save here for the love of God. Yeah, I probably should. On his legs, a 15-minute run, I'd say. That's when the murder was reported? That's right. And then he took a fall from the bridge. Put me with the burning bridge okay, yeah, I'm gonna save it a sec. Okay. You know, let's just fast forward through the press and all the rest of these, because... Yeah, basically he was out there because of that. Didn't work. The light was lightning. Kerplow! What did you do? Forget it, attitude. I'm Thunder, but I'm gonna check right away. Come on! Why did you go to the bridge? Let's see. So if I switch it back to so if I go to why didn't you call anyone, we'll switch it back to the other thing. That's the question. Okay, now this is different. So basically it'll change the last thing that he says, and that's why it's... Okay. You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright. Yeah! I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick came up yelling about murder. That totally made me forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway. What's this feeling? Something of a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, more or less. He told me about the... Okay, yeah, then that's back to the burning bridge thing. Okay, so I can change what the last thing is. Man, Larry has actual mechanics. It's like a boss fight. He arrived at the bridge, Nick showed up less than a minute later. Is there anything showing, like, when the crime was reported? Shit. So that means that... Let's say these footprints are Nick running out to go see it. That means the snowmobile went over the footprints, which means it should have been at the bridge. In theory. Tell you what, I'm gonna save again right now just in case this isn't it. Fuck! You know what? No, I'm saving myself the points. Oh my god. Alright. Nick showed up less than a minute later. Okay. Good, if I go with not now, will that change something else? In that case... So how exactly does all this stuff change it again? Maybe is it like the right order that I have to press him with stuff? Or do I have to press him on everything? Maybe that's it, that I don't have to... Okay, so it probably is the thing about Nick showing up less than a minute later. I just need to figure out exactly what that means in this context. Because Edgeworth said the thing about having a large amount of unease when he showed up. Why didn't you call anyone? Here's why you didn't. You showed up less than a minute later. At the same time, I'm really... My brain must not be working at all today. I feel like I should be able to get through this easily. Forget about the bridge that was on fire right next to you. Okay, no, that's wrong. At least the Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Pretty much it, more or less. About 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. Nick showed up less than a minute later, but that would also mean that it would have had to be after... Larry probably likes Skibidi Toilet. Larry's probably the inventor of Skibidi Toilet. Then he sold the rights for $5, and then now he's watching its success, being like, I didn't know it was going to be successful! Okay, so lightning struck at 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Okay, what about the autopsy report? 10 to 11 p.m., meaning... Alright, so she died after the snow. We know that, because there was no snow on the body. Which means she would have died closer to 11, if anything. So this would be after 11 o'clock. By a lot. And the fire wasn't pretty much out, it was still raging strong. Did I try this already, or was that something else? So in other words... No, I'm just gonna save on this particular question just so I can keep coming back to it if I need to. There we go. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. How fast are you going, then? How's that for a question? This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. Larry brings out the worst. He really does. I hate to say it, but you know what? He's not a terrible guy. Maybe I'm terrible for being like this, but man, it's the life. Life of a lawyer. I can only imagine what real lawyers have to deal with. My god. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge. Meaning you would probably have gotten there around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. Then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Well, Edgy, I wasn't going at the minimum required speed on the highway. The idea of Larry somehow just having the ability to run at 70 miles an hour or more is kind of funny. Wait, you can run that fast? Well, yeah, can't everyone? Is like the Flash secretly?
Excuse me, I have an objection.
You do?
Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm the...
I'm not Larry.
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m.
Larry, you going 75 miles per hour on a bike?
The sister only said around 11. In which case it could have been earlier than that.
Watch your footing there, Miss Franziska von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. But there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m.
And why not?
It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. I need to stop adding words. I'm just off it today, man. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. But Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes?
I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a toilet splashback.
I would hope you never get woken up by a toilet splashback. What situation would you be in that necessitates that? Order.
So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright.
I hardly see that as much of a problem.
Yeah, not much of a problem at all.
Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there was a phone right next to it. Why, then, did you not report the accident? Yes, witness. Why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? I mean, I would kind of understand that. It's pretty colors. And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
It's interesting that they drew the nose and bridge on both Edgeworth and Phoenix. They typically omit those because it makes the face look younger and therefore cuter. Huh. I didn't realize that.
You saying I'm cute, Firewall?
Because I've got the little, like, line for my nose right there.
Right, yeah, look at it. But,
Edgeworth can actually breathe. He has nostrils. That's kind of crazy, though, yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Ah, but this is Larry we're talking about. And even he's incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought, you've been playing with us all this time. You're the real mastermind behind DL6, aren't you?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I may really say it this time. Then say it.
Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however. Let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, with this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness?
I'm a Dunim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Master... Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into the frenzy of art.
The shock and awe that I was feeling I transferred it all directly out of the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out and then Key came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has he removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy. Bro, what? What is happening here? It's gonna be the stupidest shit when it finally reveals what exactly he did wrong. Just so I don't have to go through everything again. Give myself a little checkpoint there. Where I realized flames had gone out and then he came running up. Alright, I probably have to press him on stuff here just because I don't think there's anything in my evidence that immediately contradicts that. Tell us, Larry. My name is Laurice, get it right! Your Honor, Prosecutor Von Karma. Your Honor, Prosecutor Von Karma, Edgy. I can't lie to the court anymore. What I did in those 15 minutes is that I drew Mrs. Doonim naked with giant breasts. Larry, you've been watching too much hentai again, haven't you? It's art, Edgeworth! Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am. You know what? True to form, Larry does get a lot of girlfriends. He does have that over him. But Edgeworth has a lot of boyfriends. Just who exactly are you? I'm Laurice Doonim, apprentice extraordinaire! That's what he calls himself in any case. Then you are an artist? Of course! I'm an artist, the real thing! Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There is only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? That is a very big issue indeed. Sketching! Sketching? A burning bridge? Larry, how is NTR art? Well, it kind of sounds like art when you say it. It is all the letters of art. You know, N, T, and R. Larry, spell art. N-R-T? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. May we see it? What? Came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. The sketch of mine is... Enough. Just take such ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Larry. Larry. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, sugar? What are we up to? What is this? That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I do find the thought of Larry being a struggling hentai artist quite funny. It is pretty funny, yeah. Just imagine, like, there's a Future Ace Tony character named, like, H.N. Tai, and he's, like, an artist. And he's got, like, an octopus picture on his shirt just to really sell the bit. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? Got a terrible feeling that the instant this sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. I want it to be terrible. I want it to be absolutely awful. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turn out like this. Imagined what? That Laurie Dunham's debut would take place here, today, like this. Show it! Now! Okay. But steel yourselves. I'll draw you anything. And I do mean anything. Laurie Dunham's commission page. Oh, God. Larry, did you enter the furry community? This is the world of Laurie Dunham. Honestly, it's not terrible. I'll give him that. It's not bad. Color usage is pretty good. So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma? Yes. Well, it's better drawings than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. I had to burn the bridge a couple other times to see it. Oh. Yes, I'm sure you did. Oh, God. Stuff like this is why I usually don't show my art to my friends directly, just because it becomes a thing of like, I don't want to be the guy who's like, hey guys, check out my art. And it's like, uh-oh. I was expecting a Charlie level doodle. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm coloring with, like, markers and pens and stuff. I'm eating the chalk. Don't eat chalk, Charlie. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure? Ah, you spotted that? I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course! Iris! Oh, god damn it. I wish she'd take better care of herself. You have to plan for our future, you know? Also mean to a newbie. Look, that's what I'm saying. The art itself is fine. It's just that he made it sound like it'd be like revealing a huge secret, and it kind of wasn't. If anything, I would say his color usage was pretty great. You know, he's got like the fire there, it goes well with the night sky. I think fire is pretty hard to draw. He did it pretty well with those colors. That's what I'm saying there. Anyway. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Larry. Larry. Larry, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist. A real artist, not like those AI fucks. You. Hi? The girl. She's really high up in this picture. What? What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. They hate that game studio. Which, by the way, the joke is that there's a game studio where people can fly. Alright, anyway. Actually, there is some precedent for this. By all means, proceed, Franziska. He was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. He was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has got to be some kind of mistake. Some kind of mistake. Some kind... dude, it's difficult for me to do the Canadian voice for some reason. Oh, a boot. What's this all about? Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. It's like what Tommy Lee Jones said to Jim Carrey. I cannot sanction your buffoonery. Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Oh, what did you think of my debut piece? Okay, Judge, it's not that bad. Get that thing away from me. Oh boy. Horrible it's not that bad. Hey, you could tell from the outline that it was a lady when he was flying there, so hey, you know, he got the silhouette right. Oh boy. Well, I already know the answer to this. But I think it's a good strategy, at least for beginners, to try and lower the expectations of whoever you're trying to show the drawing to. That's true, yeah. Meanwhile, Larry hyped it up a little too much. Like, don't get me wrong. Look at, where is it? Hold on. Look at the way he drew the flames here. He did it right, you know, he made them kind of faded, made them a little ethereal. He had, like, the right color usage on them. They really blend with the background of having the night sky be purple instead of, like, black or blue, to have it, like, you know, make it a little more vivid and bright. He's got some orange there. It's all encompassing everything. I think he did a pretty good job with that. And hey, from the outline up there, we know that he is drawing Iris. You can tell from the fact that it's a lady. So you know what? Give him credit where credit's due. He did a pretty good job there. That said, there's no goddamn way Iris was flying, so... yeah. What did you really see that night? Not that I particularly cared. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 if it's the truth. And it's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Made the sketch with markers while eating the chalk. Don't eat chalk, Larry. Oh my god. That's one of my favorite Always Sunny quotes, just because, like... all things where they tell Charlie not to eat things that he should absolutely be, like, you know, not eating. Where he's like, yeah, I ate the stickers off the fruit. Don't eat the stickers, Charlie. I don't want to. They're gross. Okay, then don't eat them. Oh my god. They just get so visceral with it. It's like you're telling, it's not even like telling a child. It's like telling, like, a really old person who should know better, like, don't do this thing. Why are you doing it? Tell us, Larry, according to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. Wouldn't that make it Phoenix, then? But he was already nearby when Phoenix was falling off the bridge, so... huh? She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why?
Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
What?
Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you Nick? You dog!
What the fuck is wrong with this case? I feel like when people hear, like, yeah, I like to draw, they assume that some degree of skill was involved. They're the ones setting the high bar for you. That's true. Like, I do draw stuff, obviously. I don't think I would ever introduce myself, though, as, like, an artist. Especially if I'm, like, don't get me wrong, I would say, like, I'm a voice actor because I do voice acting things. Granted, I'm not very successful with it, but I still have more confidence in my voice acting skill than I do in my art skill. Now, granted, you may be listening to me do the voices for all this and be like, oh, you're not really good at that either. And it's like, fair, but, you know, it's priority or something. I do agree that those setting expectations is kind of a big deal. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded. Straight into the garbage. Oh, don't throw it away. Come on, put it on the fridge. Like with Pearl's thing. You know? Like from that one skit. Huh. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you! A guy named Right taking flight? That's gotta be a reference. Oh, yeah, yeah! Like when Nick fell off the bridge. I'm kidding, I know it's the Wright brothers. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I didn't catch that. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? Outburst. I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Larry, just don't. Definitive? Evidence? Fox! Die! Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Laurice Dunem, shall prove it. How? How are you gonna do it, Larry? I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. That's what it would art to me. I actually still have never seen your art, but actually outside of the Gartic Phone games and stuff like that, I think you're quite good, personally. At the very least, creatures are definitely your strong suit. Okay. Well, I hope you're ready, Edgy. Because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain! You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time! Trust me! My feelings exactly, Edgeworth. Proof that Iris flew. Sure. Hit me with it. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow that goes along with the staff. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. A crystal sphere? This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere, where did you find it? Let me see, around here somewhere? Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Oh my. It's blood! What? Blood? And it's not pink? The sphere out of the court record. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore.
Didn't you want to be called Larice Dunim only a few minutes ago? I already know what's wrong with this. Just to be safe, I'm gonna save. Larry. That night, there was someone. Someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Who was this stupid idiot?
Miss Elise Dunim. The mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey, that's my photograph. Give it back.
A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. The one you're wearing right now? That brooch? The one that doesn't have a sphere on it? They look nothing alike. Man, Edgeworth is just trapped in a perpetual hell from which there is no escape. Pray for him. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal sphere! It's gone!
What? What?
Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. This case is fucking crazy. How is this gonna resolve? And this is like one of the highest rated cases in the entire franchise, from what I hear. I am very interested in seeing how this all shakes out. It's gotta be satisfying. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Dunim. A fool alongside another fool, on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly. Thus, it is rejected. This crystal sphere. This is nothing more than a red herring. Actually, it's purple. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought and I'm sure you will realize it as well, Miss Myers Edgeworth. Elise Dunim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. And not this clown. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe that it has nothing to do with this case. That crystal sphere. It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away. This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. A lot of confusing noises there. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. which is the exact same reason that he drew as this ridiculous sketch.
What? You mean I'm the killer?
All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. He makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise Dunim left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. I think we're fine. I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Waste of time. Will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgevest. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. He would bullshit until he won. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. Actually, you know what? I'll save. Just to make sure. You'll do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright. Objection! I don't think that's true. And I am indeed cornered. Da 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 da. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Eh? Evidence that this proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Half covered in snow. This crystal sphere. It was half buried in the snow, correct?
That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it.
That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Look at Edward's smug face as he has 10 guns pointed at him. Apartment complex? I find it rather simple, really. I love the shrug sprite that he has. One where he's like smirking and he's like, Clearly, you do not own an air fryer. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there was no snow on the victim's body. Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? Order! 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 On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose.
Man, whoever dropped that ball really dropped the ball.
Maurice Dunham. It feels like a Phoenix joke where he'd be like, I guess they dropped the ball. Then everyone would be like, oh god. What could that have been? This sphere. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. What's my favorite pursuit theme so far? Good question. There is the classic one, and I love that. The whole, like, da 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 da. Like, that is one of the best video game pieces of music of all time, in my opinion. I fucking love it. However, I do also really like, Edgeworth's from the Investigations games, where I think it's called, like, Pursuit Lying Coldly, where it's like, dun dun dun, 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 dun da 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 da, da 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 da. It feels like a lot. It feels like both themes are like suited to the characters they're meant for. Like Phoenix's is very bombastic and like kind of, you know, triumphant sounding. Edgeworth's is more like classy and kind of reserved almost. I feel like. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeves? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. There's the shrug. That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You're forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeverse. Histunem's body was found at Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. I want to say it's the tracks, right? Body fell 10 feet after death. On that snowy night, there was one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. The mobile snow. Mobile the snow. On mobile the snow. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeverse. You dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moves the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defenses have proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. Further Ace Attorney investigations, if you will. What? Where was the victim Elise Dunim really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean?
Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
This witness certainly sits in one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point.
Eddie, thank you.
That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner.
Excuse me?
Wait, so if Nick is about as old as Edgeworth, that's like 7 years older than Franziska. Huh. There was one reason, and one reason alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright.
Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Frenzy whipping me all back.
Myers Edgeworth. I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. Unfortunately, they were both tops. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by.
What a shame.
This is all your fault.
Such a terrible witness.
You are an affront to all the legal system stands for.
I demand satisfaction.
I think Larry died. Whew. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been truth or the lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. I cannot believe that the witness actually died. Yeah, you know, there was a murder in court today. Alright, that's a great stopping point. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. My next stream will be sometime this week. Keep an eye for my schedule tomorrow to find out when. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And goodbye for now.